If you want to record cinematic scenes like these and high quality YouTube shorts inside Minecraft, follow this guide. So after you've installed this mod and put it inside your mods folder, you should have something like this in the main menu. So if you click on it, you should have all of your recordings here. So to show you how this mod works, so you just go onto the single player and then log into any world. And then as you can see, for instance, I have a building here. So if I want to make a time lapse of it, for instance, I'm just going to click on the escape button and then click on start recording. As you can see, you can see on the top right, we have a flashback started recording, and then we can click escape button again, and then we click on finish recording, cancel recording, or even pause the recording. After you finish your building, for instance, you can click on finish recording and then type the name or whatever you'd like here. So I'm just gonna name it maybe building 2, and then click on save replay, and then head back into your main menu and then click on the same icon, and then simply, as you can see, we have the recording here. So I have actually recorded already a time lapse of me building this building, so I'm gonna load into it, and then I'm gonna show you everything you need to know about this mod inside Minecraft and how we can do time lapses or even shorts inside this amazing mod. So as you can see, guys, to begin, you can actually have shaders inside this mod by simply playing with the settings and put whatever shader you like to. So you can enable shaders if you want to. So in this tutorial, I'm not going to turn any shaders. And then the second thing I want to mention, you have here multiple tabs. We have file. Here you can export your video, export screenshot, open replay, open recent, and exit replay. We have preferences, which are something related to time interpolation. So you can have smooth, linear. If you are familiar with any editing software such as a Premiere, you should be knowing what you are doing here. And then if you don't know what is this, you should leave it as it is. So I'm just gonna close this tab, and then we have a player list. So if any entity or any player in this world or any server, you can see here on the player list that you have maybe your character or your friend's character, so you can teleport into it, and then you can hide it, and then you can show it. And then on the movement section here, as you can see, if I enable it, we should have something like this. So you can click on that. You can have a direction which is horizontal and camera. For me, I leave it always on camera, and then we have something called momentum. So if I leave it on maximum, this is what it looks like. And then if I turn it off or put it on 0, this is what it looks like. So it kinda makes your movement smoother on the scene. And you can lock X, Y, Z, so you cannot move at all. So the only thing that is moving here is my mouse, and I cannot move through my keyboard. So I'm just gonna uncheck these, and I believe you do not need them. And then you can actually hide and look at your scene like this, and just click F1 to get it back. So you can also put your tabs anywhere on the screen. So I can put the movement here, and then I can just hide it from here. And then we can put this here maybe. It's more like an editing software, so you should be actually familiar with these settings or these freedom with this mod. So anyways, guys, we have here a very interesting section, and it's really important section, which is the visuals. So as you can see, guys, we have a chat, and we have post bar, and we have title text, scoreboard, action bar. These are gonna be shown if you are spectating a certain character, as you can see. So if I click here and then spectate, if I hide these, nothing's gonna pop up on my screen here. So if you want to get out of your character, you should just press on shift, and then as you can see, we are not spectating this character anymore. So if you still check these, you shouldn't have anything on the screen since you're not spectating this character. And then for the world, you have many options here. So for instance, we can disable the blocks, as you can see. So we are kind of into the void, and then we can render entirety. So for instance, in this scene, we have some sheeps around here. So if I uncheck this, every mob in this world are gonna be hidden, and my character is still visible since I don't count as an entity, I count as a player. So if I uncheck this box, every player on this server are gonna be hidden. So I'm just gonna leave it as it is, and then you can render particles or disable them, and you can also do that from options and then disable the particles. Also, we have an interesting feature here, which is render sky. So if I turn this off, we should have a green screen for the sky, so we can replace it with another sky. Maybe from Google, you can get any asset and put a sky or anything else you'd like to, and then use a chroma key using Photoshop. Combined together, you should have a perfect scene for your thumbnails. So I'm just gonna leave it on, and then we have a render name tag. So if you turn it off, as you can see, my character's name is gonna be hidden. So I'm just gonna leave it on too. And then we have override fog. So if you turn it on, as you can see on the horizon, we can play with the start of the fog. We can make it sharp. We can make it kind of foggy or even blurry. And also the end, you can also play with it, and you have a decent result if you play with these for your specific scene. We can also I'm gonna turn it off, and then we can also override fog color. You can change how it looks like, so you can put it on maybe purple or even green or whatever color you'd like to. So for the override FOV, this is one of the most interesting options here that this mod is actually offering. So you can play with this, you can zoom in, zoom out, just like from the settings here, you can do the same. And then we have a time override, which is actually a perfect option to have in such mods. So you can play with this, you can set it onto the day, you can play around and just have the perfect timing for your scene if it was not available at the time of the recording. You can also turn a night vision. I'm gonna explain this in brief. So let's say we have a nighttime, as you can see guys, and then maybe I go into a cave. So it should not be this visible. So if I turn the night vision, we should have shades or shadows around, as you can see. So I cannot see around inside a cave if this was not checked. So I always leave it unchecked so I can see around the scene. And then we have two options, which is camera shake and we have camera roll. So I'm not going to talk about them, maybe in another video, if this video is getting the enough support that I want from you guys. So please leave a like and subscribe if you're enjoying this guide already. So let's move into the weather. So if I click here, we can have maybe rain, we can have snow, we can have thunder, and etc. And then we have others, which is rule of the thirds guide. Listen guys, these are one of the necessary things to have on a professional recording of Minecraft scenes. So if you turn these off, you do not have any idea where is the center point of your scene. So if we leave these on, you can basically tell that my character is in the center of the scene, which means most of the viewers are gonna focus at this specific point. So always leave these on, since are they gonna help you, just like in the iPhone camera maybe. It helps so much. And then we have another interesting thing that I was always wondering about when I was making my shorts back then. How do people make such a great high quality shorts? So when it comes to this, you can actually click here and then change aspect ratio. So we have here 16:9, and then we have the shorts, which is so specific for reels. So if you turn this on, after exportation, you should have a perfect quality. As you can see guys, in the shorts on YouTube, they're all of them are kind of 4K to 1080p, which is a perfect quality without loss of any quality inside this recording. So anyways guys, I'm just gonna leave it for a full screen or 16:9. So after we finish this tab, we're gonna talk about something different now. So if you want to move around quickly, you should first click on the left click. You should hold it so you can move your camera around like this. And then if you let go, you cannot actually move around or do anything. You should have your cursor so you can navigate it through these tabs. So when you hold the left click, you can see around. And the second thing you need to know, if you hold onto the left click and then scroll up or down, you should have the flying speed being controlled, so you can fly even faster around your scene, or you can slow it down so you can have your perfect shot and be precise with them. So for your character to inspect it or do whatever you'd like to, you should let go of the left click, and then as you can see, we have here a green box around the character, so you should just right click on it. You can look at it, so you can put it in the center point, or you can spectate it. And then, as I told you, you can just shift and then get out of the spectate mode. And you can also set the audio source into the character, so anything nearby the character should be in the recording. And if you uncheck this, you can hear everything around you if you don't have this option set into true. Anyways, guys, you can also see here we have a section that is specified for the effects or even the keyframes. To simplify this, we have something that is similar to Premiere or any editing software. We have in and we have out. So what this does, in means the beginning of your clip, and out means this is the ending of your clip from the entire scene, as you can see. So the only part that is going to be rendered in the export is this part that is marked with the blue line. So here we have, guys, an interesting thing, which is camera. So if you set this here, somewhere here, by the way, how you can actually add a camera effect is by clicking on add element and then click on camera. So if you click on remove all keyframes, it's gonna remove this specific effect. So I left only one. So if I click on the positive sign here, so my first position is here. And then if I move this here, at this specific time, I should have a scene moving, or the camera moving around the scene at this point here. So if I click and go back into the beginning of the video, we should have something like this. And for the yellowish part here, we can turn it off by clicking on the camera path. And if you turn it on, you know where the 2 points are being set on this scene. And then if you click on add element, as you can see, we have a camera arpit. The difference between the camera and the camera arpit, you should have positions, distances, and etc. You can play with these and figure them out yourself, but I prefer using camera most of the time. And then we have another element, which is camera shake, which I told you guys I'm gonna talk about it maybe soon or maybe not. It depends on the support to this video. And for the FOV, you can actually put some keyframes that are related to the zoom in and zoom out effect. And we have an interesting thing here, which is speed. So to even simplify this, if you click on add keyframe of a speed at this point of the video, let's say we have a 10 multiplier here at this certain spot. So everything after this keyframe should have a 10x multiplier, and everything before this keyframe should be a normal speed of the video. So if we click play, as you can see, we are set on 10x, and if we right click on the keyframe, we can adjust it and maybe put it to 0.1 speed, so it is actually a slow motion. So we can also delete it by clicking function and delete, or you can just instantly click on delete on your keyboard, and it's gonna remove all of these keyframes by actually selecting them. And then we have another add element option. We can add a time lapse. So what is the difference between the time lapse and the speed? It is simply if you set a time lapse maybe here and then put it somewhere in the end of the clip. So my whole clip is actually 18 minutes and 47 seconds. So let's say we want to shrink the whole clip into maybe 10 seconds. So we type here 10 seconds and then we play the whole clip. So it's going to be on 10-second speed. So this is a clip from yesterday's video that I uploaded as a short. So as you can see, I put the keyframes on the timeline like this, and I had a result like this. So this is a aspect ratio for shorts. So if I want to export this, so I'm gonna click on file, then click on export video, and then simply wait a little bit since it's gonna render everything here on the timeline. It shouldn't be taking long. So you have a tab like this, so you should have your resolution set here, and then you have the start, which is the I that we pressed on the timeline here, and then the out on the timeline, which is the 200 tick, which is here with the blue marker. And also we have a frame rate of the whole scene, so I'm gonna leave it on 60 frames. And also I'm gonna click on the super sampling anti-aliasing, which is I always leave on to have sharp edges. And then for the container, we should always leave it on MP4. The codec, I always leave it as it is. Also for the encoder, then I always use the same maximum bitrate, which allows me to have the perfect resolution out of 1080p. And then we click on record audio, and then we check this box, which is stereo 2 channels, and then we also leave the audio codec. So this is my settings. If you want to copy me, it is okay. So after we clicked on export, we should have something like like this, and then you can type whatever name you'd like to, and then you click on save, head back into Minecraft, and as you can see, we can wait for the export data frames to finish, and it's not gonna take a long time compared to the replay mod, and it's gonna be smooth with higher quality. So it is already done. So I'm just gonna head back into the desktop, and then I'm just gonna play the video, and then as you can see guys, we have a really high resolution and a smooth video with sharp edges that you can actually put inside shirts. Thank you guys for watching. Please consider like and subscribe for more guides like these.